welcome to a podcast that has been revamped. It was formerly known as the Suplex Society, and we have rechristened it as the Chair Shots.
Chair Shots. Look, this name is not ideal for somebody who stutters, and I stutter, but it's Chair Shots and Chit Chats.
Yes.
So,
I mean, I thought it was cool. We do a wrestling, we do a WWE podcast. We don't do a wrestling podcast.
I think it's important to notate that. I'm sure at one point maybe we'll start talking about other promotions like AEW, New Japan, Indies, ROH.
But right now we're starting off simple.
Yes.
WWE is our game. It's WrestleMania week.
It is WrestleMania. It's officially, as of yesterday, WrestleMania week. So what are we talking about today?
Well, there's a lot of things going on, and I don't agree with some of them. There are some things I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Okay.
And, I mean, we're going to talk about John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Because
That's where you want to start?
No, that's not going to... That's
okay,
gonna be,
so John Cena and Cody Rhodes?
That will be our main, at the very end. It'll be the last thing we talk about.
Okay, so what else are we talking about?
We're going to be talking about the failures of the build-up to WrestleMania.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to for the weekend. Like match-wise.
The actual WrestleMania. Okay, so what is the failures of WrestleMania build-up and what is good going into WrestleMania?
Yes, and then we're going to talk about the main event of all of WrestleMania.
Which is John Cena
and Cody Rhodes.
Okay. So, now you know it. You can go home now. You can go ahead and turn this off if you don't want to listen to more about it. We'd really enjoy it if you do like any of this content, stuff like this. If you hit subscribe, because that's really going to help us get off the floor. If you go ahead and like and comment down some of the things that you think we could be doing better, whether it's audio, video, some of the conversations we're talking about, whether it's staying on topic. Whatever you think is going to help us improve this podcast. Remember, this is our first official episode of Chair Shots and Chit Chats, and we're really excited. Let me introduce myself. My name is Paco. I am the co-host, and here next to me I have CE. With that being said, let's go into what do you not like about the build-up to this year's WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 41 is from Las Vegas this year. I mean, the build-up's been kind of slow, in my opinion. Let's see, what else? When you look at it, all the matches seem kind of like thrown together last minute.
Okay, so slow and thrown together.
Stories don't make sense either. Some of the stories don't. You know, what about you?
So, to be completely honest, I started following this era of wrestling whenever I actually following and trying to get into the storylines, get into the characters when it got into Netflix. So, beginning of this year.
Okay.
So I've been watching it every Monday. I only watch Raw. I've been keeping up with the stories on TikTok when it comes to SmackDown.
And we don't watch NXT.
But I don't think it has been that bad. So I want to ask you a question. How do you define slow? What is it that you do to define slow? Because
they're still adding matches. As of this week, they're still adding matches to WrestleMania.
Well,
it's not even the card's not even fully.
So going back to the original question, what is slow about it? Is it the fact that it hasn't come out with the full card? Is it?
Well, it's that. Plus, they keep. I mean, it feels like it's been a drag from. I don't know if it's the placement of they moved Elimination Chamber to March 1st, and so they moved WrestleMania back 2 weeks. Because usually it's the first week of April.
Right.
April 3rd and 4th.
Right.
I don't know if it's the time.
But I don't think 2 weeks would really make that big of a difference. So, I don't think, to take the contrary side of this, I don't think it has been that big a bit of a drag. I think they're trying to promote the long-term storytelling, and in order to get everything they wanted to so this is where I agree with you, with the big storylines like the John Cena's and Cody Rhodes, with the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punks, they have taken away from developing some of the other stories in the undercard or midcard.
Okay.
That's where I think it has been not necessarily low in the build-up, but almost non-existent to where now it has been a situation to we're still just now getting some of the matches that we're going to get to WrestleMania.
I think some of them shouldn't be on WrestleMania either.
But that's the problem you have with having a 2-day WrestleMania event.
Well, let's talk about that too.
Okay.
18 hours over 2 days. When I'm used to, hey, WrestleMania is just 4 hours. You don't need the pre-show. You don't want to listen to someone talk for 3 hours about the same thing over and over and over. You know what I mean?
Same thing being wrestling?
Yeah.
I disagree. I think people wouldn't like...
18
I see your point.
Because my brother, I'll be watching it with my brother this weekend.
Yeah.
And he wants to watch NXT Stand and Deliver as well. So imagine watching NXT Stand and Deliver, then the pre-show, then you watch night one, then you watch...
Yeah, but the casual
the
viewers
post-show.
are only going to watch, if anything, the last 3 fights of night one and the last 3 fights of night two. Most likely night one, because night two was Sunday, and Sunday is technically a school night because tomorrow you got to wake up early.
It's also Easter.
It's also Easter. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with making it on Easter. But that's beside the point. I'm going to try to stay on topic. That being said, so failures to leading up to WrestleMania. One is the failure to
We're not creating...
build the stories for the mid-card and undercards, which I guess is not really necessary for mid-card for undercards.
It is. I mean, for the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania is supposed to end rivalries and start new ones. Like, everybody's supposed to start fresh after WrestleMania. And I guess a lot of people are also looking at it like, nothing's going to compare to last year. WrestleMania 40, nothing is going to compare. I'm not saying it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not going to be compared to... You're not going to be able to compare it to last year because there was so much that happened.
There was a lot of things that happened last year. I agree.
But at the same time, I mean, you're looking at maybe... I mean, let's talk about some of the thrown together matches.
Okay, what are some of the thrown
I
together
don't
matches?
agree with Naomi versus Jade. Unless they're creating it to where Bianca finally turns heel.
But Bianca isn't even in that picture right now.
Yes, but so it started as Naomi and...
Right.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay.
I'm not trying to foresee that right now. I'm just saying, I don't think Naomi should be on WrestleMania card.
Do you think, and this is where, look, it is very obvious that they are trying to do long-term storytelling. Do you think that some of these things don't make sense to us right now because they're so intricate? And that maybe after this weekend, a lot of questions and a lot of those...
You might be right, but what I'm saying is, like, you're looking at it like, hey, Road to WrestleMania starts in January.
Yeah.
Usually.
Of course.
They moved Royal Rumble to February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Then they moved Elimination Chamber. They moved it back they moved everything back a couple weeks. I don't understand why. And then, I mean, they're not even selling the show out. And that could be their problem.
You did state that. So let's move on to not just what is wrong, but what are the causations of that. So why do you think that...
So one of the main things... I mean, one thing that happened this year, Raw went to Netflix.
Okay. You think that caused the storytelling to be...
Not all of it.
Okay.
They had to move. Netflix wanted Roman on Raw. Drew went to SmackDown. You know, a lot of parts had to move. Mm-hmm. Because when you sign a new contract with a network or streaming platform, you have to cater to their needs to get their money.
Makes sense.
With that, I mean, I really think WrestleMania is not anything without the bloodline. Roman. I mean, because they had to throw... I mean, look at half the card. the Usos. Jay's in a world title match. Naomi's on the card. I mean, I don't know if that's the cause of it. A lot of people are looking at it like some of these people shouldn't be on the card and other people should.
Okay, so you think it's favoritism?
Yeah. Because The Rock is on the board of directors.
Okay. So,
and I could be wrong.
So your causation is that. My causation is long-term storytelling. I guess mine is very optimistic. Long-term storytelling leading up to a big aha moment at WrestleMania.
It might be.
That's my causation. But that could be absolutely another one. What could be something else? You said Netflix being on Raw.
They moved to Netflix.
How could Netflix being on Raw?
Raw went to Netflix, so they were worried about catering to that new contract. So
they had to focus more on the
Netflix.
Big, on the big matches like the John Cena's and the Cody Rhodes and the Roman Reigns and the CM Punks. So those big names are going to be focused more on.
But you know what's crazy? Cody Rhodes isn't even Raw.
He's not wrong.
Raw. He's not on Raw.
Raw. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of. But
there's supposed to be a brand split, and right now there's not. They're gonna hopefully fix it with the draft that's coming up, but I don't know.
Okay, so. But I don't see a problem with that. I see the point in speaking about that, but I don't see a point with that because usually during this time there's a lot of cross promotions between the brands because they're trying to sell the stories.
Let's talk about storytelling.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say that is Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
He's their number one selling merch right now.
I thought it was Cody Rhodes.
No.
It's not?
To put him in a story, this is what I mean by storylines not making sense.
Okay,
right?
So yeah, that was another point that you made.
Jey Uso, we know how good he is in the ring.
Right.
Right. He's lost to Gunther 3 times.
Yes.
He's 0-3. And now he's all of a sudden scared. Or you're putting him in a position where he has to win. Or if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, it kind of buries him.
Right. And yeah, how do you come back from? I mean, you can come back from
I know that
a fourth loss. You will never be. You will. Saying never. It'll be really hard for you to come back. Yeah.
They'll have to repackage him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about repackaging, but
Yeah, they'd have to create a whole new dynamic of his character.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so storytelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a gauntlet match for this women's tag team title match.
Yeah.
Right. Lyra Valkyria and Bayley just fought each other for the Intercontinental Championship last Monday.
Mm-hmm. Then
on Friday, they were in a tag team match together.
I saw that.
To become the number 1 contenders.
I was so confused about that. That one I agree with because I watched that one. I watched that fight, and I said, weren't they just fighting last week?
If you watch the end of that fight, the end of the match, Bayley comes in, act like she wasn't going to shake her in, and then she went in for a hug. Mm-hmm. So they might be planning a Bayley heel turn.
Has Bayley been heel?
Yes, she was. Remember, Damage Control.
And I was just hoping that I wasn't misremembering that.
Yeah, she was but I don't think she needs another heel run right now.
I don't think so.
She hasn't had that good of a babyface run. And she might be a better heel.
Yeah. Okay, so what's another one? What's another story that just doesn't make sense to you?
Okay, so we went over the Gunther and Jey Uso. We went over the women's tag team title match.
Let's talk about the big one.
Which one? John Cena?
No, the other one. No, the other big one. What is the only other big fight other than John Cena fight?
You could be...
The Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Come on. There's only one other big fight other than that one fight.
There is. Okay, so my brother, I was talking to my brother last night on the phone. He was like, they all have beef from each other from when CM Punk was originally in the company.
Mm-hmm. Well, CM Punk was the one that was supposed to originally bring up the
the Nexus?
Not Nexus.
We gotta restart it.
No, let's finish. We'll talk about this.
So, the match doesn't make sense.
Why do you say that?
I would rather see Roman and Seth Rollins fight
Okay.
than have CM Punk in the match.
And why not have CM Punk in the match?
They're fighting over Paul Heyman.
Essentially, that's what it is. But why is that not a good story to tell?
It all started with okay, so CM Punk helped at War Games.
The favor, right.
The favor.
Right.
And then last week Seth Rollins was like, oh,
Now you owe me a
now
favor.
you owe me a favor because I didn't stomp your head into the
Correct.
ground.
Right.
The triple threat match, I don't think it's needed. I would have found something else for CM Punk to do.
But it would. When would you have find something for him to do? When would that have been? Because
It would have been It would have had to have been after Elimination Chamber. Because we didn't know who was gonna face. Cody Rhodes until after Elimination Chamber. CM Punk. I mean, they could have even done a CM Punk Seth Rollins and found something else for Roman to do.
I thought that's what it was going to be, but you can't leave Roman out of the picture.
I don't think it would have left him out. They could have found. There's
something else different.
There's other good people out there. Another thing.
Yeah.
And this will be the last one.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. The stupidest storyline.
That's undercard for sure. That's going to be one of the first fights of the match.
It is, yeah. It'll be like
of the WrestleMania, and that's just to get everybody's foot wet and start getting everybody's attention and energy.
We know it's Chad Gable.
What if it's not? Like, obviously, it's Chad Gable, but what if it's not?
It kind of reminds me of when Hogan became Mr. America back in 2003. He came back in the mask wearing the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm not Hulk Hogan, bro.
Brother.
And they had Vince McMahon doing the whole lie detector like, they even gave Hulk Hogan a lie detector
I don't remember that one. That's how you know I'm not like a deep like WWE fan.
Yeah.
So I'm sensing a lot of animosity from you when it comes to things you don't like about.
I'm just not excited.
You're not excited
about this WrestleMania
at all about WrestleMania?
I'm not saying the matches are going to be bad.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'm not. This is probably the year that I have been least excited about WrestleMania.
Okay, so there has to be something. What are you excited about? What storyline are you looking forward to seeing? What story are you looking forward to ending? What is it that you like about this WrestleMania?
One of the show stealers, and I might be wrong, but AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And I hate Logan Paul.
You know what? Controversial topic, but I completely agree. Look, I think, and this is a hot take, I think Logan Paul is underrated.
Logan Paul is really decent in the ring.
He has probably, and I'm going to get shit for this in the comments, he probably has better mic work than 75 to even maybe 90% of the people in that locker room.
I agree.
Or at least what has been allotted to be exhibited.
And that's why people hate him.
And he's a great heel.
Yeah.
He, like, from the entrance, from the theme music, from his persona, he should be the problem child.
That'll be one of the show stealers.
And I completely agree. They both have that high flyer style. They both have that fucking balls to the wall style. And I'm excited to see that one.
But it's they might have the same styles, but it's new age versus old age.
Absolutely.
Because AJ Styles, before WCW went out of business, he was working in the power plant in the late 90s, early 2000s, right before they went out of business, before he took his leave to Japan and whatever he did.
Okay.
So I really like that match. Have you looked at the card? Are there any matches you're excited for?
Look, I'm a big CM Punk fan. I'm not a super huge fan of this triple threat, but it's inevitably going to be good. Like, stylistically, it's going to be a good fight between all. Like, they all have.
While we're talking about that, so you remember the chair shot that he gave Roman?
Yeah.
11 years ago now.
And
then
he
Roman
just did it again last Raw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was leaving.
Ah, okay. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with Cena. With Cena. I'm interested to see if I know his whole gimmick is I'm not changing anything for you. I'm not changing anything for the audience. But I still have the little bit of hope that maybe he comes out to a new theme music.
That's what I was hoping for when he showed up in
Raw?
the first Raw after he did what he did.
Yeah, and look, it fits him. It makes sense. But I think they should change his music.
Give him a new outfit.
Or at least give him like a toupee, because you could definitely see that bald spot. I would give him something. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Cena. I think this is another uphill battle or storyline uphill battle for Cody Rhodes. Not as exciting as it was last year with the Roman Reigns.
Know. You know what I think, though? We'll get to that later.
Okay. And the one other thing, if this is a fan theory that I read about actually today. So they have The Rock going like this, and then he goes like this.
Yeah, there's a third.
And then there might be a third one, right?
Speaking of The Rock, he was wearing an NJ, like New Japan Pro Wrestling shirt the other day on his TikTok.
No way.
And they're talking about what if they close AEW's Forbidden Door and they open one of their own. I don't know what the 3 is yet, though.
Okay. I read somewhere that Jey Uso threw up the peace sign at one point. Which is the reason why he's in a title fight with Gunther.
Huh.
Which means, and last year, the year before that, Dwayne Johnson took out trademarks on multiple sayings, slogans, names. Jabroni being one of them.
Those are
People's
his
Elbow
original.
being one of them. But another one being, I think, and I could be mistaken in this, the Corporation.
Old Corporation.
Is it Old Corporation?
There's an older... So, there used to be a corporation back in the 90s, 98, 99. They used to have the corporation, then it went to corporate ministry with Dark Undertaker and... Like,
Okay, so I'm assuming that he was part of that?
No.
Well, the fan theory is that he's taking this and he is number 1.
Yeah.
John Cena's number 2.
Yeah.
And then Jey Uso is going to be number 3. And they're going to form a faction being the Corporation. And that means that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to get his champion.
Yeah.
Not only 1, but 2.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if that fan theory spans
So
out.
Jey Uso go heel?
Jey Uso would go heel.
That'd be interesting.
That would be super interesting. Because that would be something completely
Yeah.
unexpected. And I think they might be even hinting a little bit by doing this little kind of like mentality change. Yeah. And now you are going to have to pray. You are going to have to call your mom and tell her, I'm not going to come back the same man that I was before.
Yeah. And you listened to that promo last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
I think if Jey Uso does the same thing that Gunther did to his brother, to Gunther, I think that might change some kid fans, some childish fans, and they're not going to like him. He's going to go heel because he went too far. He doesn't even have to win that match.
I think he does, though.
I think he does. I completely agree. He doesn't have to win that match to turn heel. I think it looks even better if he loses.
Yeah, for sure.
And because it would be a DQ. Like, let's say it's a DQ.
Yeah.
And he lost on purpose because he doesn't care. And I thought that in that promo that Jey... This is how you know I'm excited. In that promo that Jey made, I thought he was going to say, it's not about the title anymore.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have said something like that, it would have resonated so much more because it means he doesn't care about winning anymore.
Yeah,
He cares about beating ass.
Another match I'm looking forward to.
Okay, what else are you looking for?
The Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship.
Who's all in that match?
Penta,
Braun
Breaker,
yes.
Dom Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Did you see that spear? The Braun Breaker laid into Carlito?
Yeah, that was good. Do you think that was an oversell? Or do you think it really looked that bad?
I really think it looked... His spears look devastating. I think he may have the best spear in the business right now. Even better than Roman Reigns. Everybody's doing the spear now.
But what is it about the spear that he's doing to other people? Do you think it's just the intensity in which he is doing it?
Speed and intensity. It's how fast.
So how do you not hurt the other...
That's how you know that these are artists.
Absolutely. So, to me, the spear is an overrated... Like, I heard Goldberg say this once.
They use it too many times.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it.
Goldberg said this once. Like I said, nobody has ever... what is it?
I have no idea.
When you don't get pinned, what is it called?
Oh, when you
kicked out of my what's his signature? Is it called the spear?
Yeah, or the jackhammer.
Jackhammer, right? Has ever kicked out of the jackhammer? And it's like, well, this person. No, that was just a spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. So again, it's just the spear is such.
It's so overused.
To me, it's overused.
Edge uses it. Jey Uso uses it. Goldberg used it.
Roman Reigns
uses it. I mean, a lot of people, even people outside of the company, use it.
Yeah.
But.
Yes, sorry. Going back to it.
That match.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the Judgment Day might pull it off. I also think that. I mean, Braun Breaker's not going to be pinned because he's going to take that next step.
Yeah.
And get into the world title.
It's a good way to get him out of, or to take the belt off him, but not make him look weak.
What's your other match?
Let's say we talk about the other main fight.
No, not yet.
Okay, let's not talk about that.
My other match is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
You know what? That doesn't even excite me one little bit.
Really?
Drew McIntyre to me is, and maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the accent. Maybe it's.
Well,
it's his presence, but
he's English.
No, I said maybe. I think it's more of his presence. He's not convincing to me at all.
Really?
Not even one little bit. He's a big guy, but he's not convincing to me as a champion. And I get it that he carried the company during the COVID times.
Well, I don't think Damian Priest is older than Roman Reigns. I don't know if you know that.
No.
I don't know. It's a Sin City street fight. You know, they had to do the little gimmick match.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that match because I've seen the rivalry over the last year. You know, Drew McIntyre beat Damian Priest last year, and then he lost the title because of CM Punk.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a little. It's gotten intense over the last couple of weeks. That's a match that I'm looking forward to.
I don't want to say that's the one I'm least looking forward to, but it's not even on my radar. That might even be worse.
What's your? I mean, we can segue right into the next. How big of you?
No, look. Let's go back to. You know what? The other one, and I didn't even think about that. It was in the back of my mind, but it was definitely there. Is AJ Styles versus.
Yeah.
Versus.
That. I mean, it's a clash of eras.
It's a clash of eras. So let me ask you a question: do you think AJ Styles wins?
AJ Styles is coming to the end of his career. He said he's not wrestling past 50. Once he turns 50, he's done.
How old is he?
45.
Oh, okay. So he's got
about 5 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Logan Paul's been in the business, 2 years?
Yeah,
3 years
not
now?
very long.
I don't think Logan Paul's ready for that significant win yet. Logan Paul.
For that significant one? Isn't he the IC title?
No.
Well, does he have any titles?
Mm-mm.
Well, he had the Intercontinental.
He had the United
Okay.
States.
Oh, the United States.
But he did something and they had to pull him off. They had to pull the title off of him.
Okay.
Something with his professional history. He got sued for something. I don't know what it was.
Probably something with Brian.
But no. Yeah, so they had to pull him off, the title off of him, back to LA Knight. I don't think he's ready for... I've seen something where it shows the marquee thing for, I think it's Raw, and he's on the end, and Triple H was like, I wanted to leave you out, but Netflix wouldn't let me.
Yeah, he's like hey, he was complaining because they were cutting him out. He's like, yeah, I wanted to leave you out altogether, but they wouldn't let me. He's
so, I don't know if they're high on him.
But I think that was for the cameras. They were recording his show. I think that was for the cameras.
Oh, okay.
I think that was for the cameras.
Well, I also, in my opinion, though, I don't think he's ready for that significant one. I mean, yes, he had good matches with Roman Reigns when he probably shouldn't have. But Roman might have carried that match. We don't know. Roman's a professional.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's... Who else do you give him?
Logan Paul.
AJ Styles... First of all, does he win or does he lose?
I could see Logan winning. I don't know if it's going to be a clean win, though.
Okay, so let's say he wins. Who else do you give Logan Paul?
No, AJ Styles doesn't win.
No, Logan Paul. So Logan Paul wins.
I don't know because he's not 100% in this.
Okay.
Because he keeps going.
Yeah.
He leaves for like 3 months and then he comes back.
Is there anybody you can give him that's maybe...
I mean, you could. I'd like to see him versus Orton.
I was just thinking about that. I literally was thinking Orton.
Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. I'd like to see that.
And that would be a good rite of passage.
Yeah.
That would be a good rite of passage.
That would be the time where he gets his win, or he gets his significant win.
Yeah.
If he didn't win at WrestleMania, you know what I mean. But it looks like they're doing whoever wins the title match. Randy Orton gets dibs.
Which title? Which title?
Universal.
Okay.
Whoever wins out of Cena and Cody.
That makes sense.
Which
would make sense. Okay, so that being said...
Backlash is in St. Louis, his hometown.
That being said, I think Cena wins.
Yeah, it has to be.
I think Cena wins, and he goes back to the feud with Randy Orton. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about...
John Cena, Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Did you like the way that they...
You know what? I was greatly disappointed with that build. I was greatly disappointed with that build because what you thought John Cena was going to do never happened. And this is part of his heel persona. It's like, you want me to do all these things, I'm not going to do any of them. And I get it. But by not doing any of those things, that... Look, the public has been wanting John Cena to go heel for so long. And one of those reasons is because he's so good on the mic. And he could literally...
He cooked Cody Rhodes on the mic.
I don't think so.
The first one.
I don't even think he cooked... I don't think anything that he ever did against Cody Rhodes was ever actually cooking him or burying him or made him look so much better than anybody else. He was just
like, oh, I get this spot in the elimination.
Yeah, and
but I called it. Okay. Now I had seen something prior to that.
Okay.
Where Cody was like, it's not good. It's not the right time for me to turn heel. Mm-hmm. That's why they went with Cena becoming.
Which
heel.
Makes sense.
And I want to see a Cody Rhodes heel turn because I know how good Cody Rhodes is as a heel.
Cody Rhodes heel turn. Can you imagine Cody Rhodes goes heel, teams up with Finn Balor, and starts bringing back the Bullet Club.
I really think, in my opinion, Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel eventually. Probably sometime this year.
Hopefully.
He'll win the title back from Cena if Cena wins. That'll be the rub. John Cena will give him the rub on the way out. Mm-hmm. Passing of the torch. And then you get...
Okay, good way.
And then you get Roman Reigns and Cody, because Roman wants his title back.
Okay.
Long-term storytelling.
Okay.
So you get the trifecta.
Okay, I see.
The trilogy. But, okay, so let me tell you what I didn't like about this. Okay, I called it. Cena's gonna turn heel. I had called it way before it happened.
Yeah.
But the way they did it,
You don't like it or you do like it?
I don't.
Okay.
Seth Rollins screws CM Punk, and then Cena pins, or he was already out. He applies the STFU, and then he's already passed out. He's already won the match. And then, come to find it. Did you see the thing, the eye with Travis Scott? He accidentally,
And I think I saw a clip of it.
No, he left a real... You didn't see the black eye?
No.
Cody said Travis got a receipt coming to him.
Good.
Because he accidentally, actually punched him in the face.
Yeah. Good.
Well, again, The Rock. Oh. Cena chose The Rock. You haven't seen The Rock since. That's the part of the story that makes no sense.
Why not?
What's The Rock's endgame? I mean, I know we're storytelling here.
Right.
But The Rock should be... I feel like there should be something from The Rock. More involvement from The Rock. You know what I mean? And not like it was last year.
During the build-up?
Yeah. Even if it's just...
I don't think you... But why do you need more input from The Rock? You understand that The Rock wants his champion. He offered it to Cody. Cody didn't take it. So now he's going to give it to John Cena.
Yeah, but we haven't seen The Rock since then.
What else would he add to the situation?
I mean, more explanation. John Cena hasn't even really given an explanation.
But you don't have to give explanation. The explanation is, you do as I say, you get what you want.
I know.
What else?
I just didn't like it.
Okay.
I just didn't like it.
You don't have to like it. To me, it makes sense. I don't see any more value added by having The Rock say anything.
Going back in time when Vince did it, Vince was there. It makes more compelling storytelling.
I think.
And it might.
Oh no, maybe you're right.
It might have been overdid. I mean, but that's how I would have liked to see it. Do you think this is the heel turn of the century? Does this top Hulk Hogan being the third man and creating the NWO?
No, at least not right now. Maybe it's too early to tell, but the immediate heel turn, no, it's not. It's not because I haven't seen any impact.
I haven't either.
There hasn't been any impact in this situation. There's just been promos going back and forth. That's it.
There's only been one swing since Elimination Chamber, and that was the Crossroads.
Yeah, it's... I do not call it the heel of the century. The only reason why I understand why people would call it the heel of the century is because the people thought they were going to die and go to their graves without seeing Cena turn heel. That I get it. That makes sense. That makes sense. That I understand why people would call it that. But the heel of the century means that not only you go bad,
you have to
when nobody thought you were going to ever go bad, but actually make an impact with it. And that's why I'm saying right now I can't say that. Going into this next year, if he starts decimating everybody and...
Well, let's see how WrestleMania goes. We'll answer that later.
You want to go into the actual card and go into see who's going to win, who's going to lose?
One more thing.
Okay, before we go.
Was John Cena... The effects of this heel turn. Was John Cena babyface too long? Is that the reason why people are having problem with it?
That's a great point. I've heard that argument. And honestly, I don't think that's the problem.
Because people are having a hard time seeing him as a heel.
But you know the problem with that is the fact that they still see everything that they saw as a babyface, not now that he's a heel.
Yeah.
That's why we talked about earlier, like repackaging and branding makes such a big difference. If he still has the you can't, or no, maybe not the you can't see me, but he still has a hustle, loyalty, respect. He has all that branding attached to him.
You think they could have added something different?
I think they
should.
Even if, like, right now there's nothing negative about him. Other than the things he's saying I'm a bad guy now, which is not really saying that. He's just being mean to the audience.
Did you see the meme of the kid? He was like,
no.
The kid, he looked at Norman and he was like, oh, you see that kid? You know, he's been kissing my ass for 20 years. And the kid was like, I didn't even know John Cena was going to talk shit about me.
So, I think, first, maybe you don't make his shirt black, but you make it darker. And I say not black because that's the NWO, right?
Yeah.
And now there'd be too much parallel with that.
You know what's crazy? Bray Wyatt called this.
Oh, that was all in that storyline that he had with Bray Wyatt when he had that Hollywood style match, right?
Because of COVID.
Yeah. So, I think that's part of branding.
Yeah. Okay.
If you see everything you saw,
He does. He has changed his hat.
But it's what the last time is now.
No, it used to say "You can't see me."
What does it say now?
It has the little thing, but the "see," it says "You can see me." Little.
And exactly, the branding change has been so gradual, so small that you can't even see it. Now, if he was to go a little bit darker, not even just like wearing pants.
Yeah.
Like just you can wear the same shirt, just wear pants now. Wear cargo pants, wear whatever your pants. Like if you keep doing the same thing you're doing when you were a good person, then whenever you're bad, nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody's gonna buy into it.
So WrestleMania is 2 nights.
Okay.
Starting on Saturday, April 19th. 7 p.m. Eastern time on Peacock. Shout out WWE. Night 1. Naomi versus Jade Cargill. El Grande Americano and Rey Mysterio.
Okay, so do you want to say win, lose, win, lose?
You can.
Okay, so Naomi versus Jade Cargill.
Jade's got to win that match.
Okay, Jade.
What about you? You think that?
No, I did.
Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
I think Rey Mysterio wins because honestly,
I would like to. El Grande Americano unmasked Dragon Lee.
And that's where
I really think Rey Mysterio should unmask and just end the charade.
That's kind of where they're going with that, but we'll see.
Here's an intriguing one. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. I think Jacob's going to win that match.
I say LA Knight.
Okay. World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the New Day.
New Day needs to split up.
I think
Xavier Woods needs his solo run.
Yeah.
I think.
He did have it. He was King of the Ring.
He needs to. I think he should be in the title contention. I think he's that good.
I think New Day wins it somehow.
It's New Day versus
the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar. Big guy that did the flip and he hurt his neck.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about that one.
Okay, here's another one I want to see. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. I want to see Tiffany Stratton beat Charlotte Flair.
I think she's going to win. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to win.
Jey Uso versus Gunther. I think Jey Uso's going to win. Triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. You heard it here first. Paul Heyman will turn on both Roman and CM Punk and go with Seth Rollins.
Originally, I was thinking that, but now that everybody's talking about it, I think WWE is going to go a separate way.
It's because everybody's expecting it.
Exactly. And now that they know everyone's expecting it, they're going to want the complete opposite.
Yeah. Where Brock Lesnar comes in and just destroys all of them.
That would be freaking amazing.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I say CM Punk wins just because I love CM Punk. CM Punk's my favorite.
Moving on to night 2.
Okay.
On Peacock. Same time. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I really think Logan Paul wins this match.
Logan Paul as well.
Okay.
I think this will catapult him to a
Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I think McIntyre
Damian Priest. Damian Priest wins.
Okay, so we're indifferent on that one. The Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. I don't know which one of them's going to win, but it's going to be Dom or Finn. I think they're finally going to turn Finn Balor back babyface. After this match.
I think Dom wins by screwing over
Finn Balor. Yeah.
And that's going to start a feud between both of them to where now you can have a clear babyface and a clear heel.
Women's Tag Team Championship, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Valkyria. I think Liv Morgan and Raquel retain, and Bayley turns on Lyra.
Okay. I don't know enough about the Bayley storyline to...
They book a championship match and Bayley wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship as a heel.
Okay.
Another one that doesn't make sense to me is this next one that's coming up. WWE Women's World Championship, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair.
That one's been all over the place, man.
Bianca's going to win.
It would make sense for Bianca to win. I think it's third time.
And then, history
can
happen in this next match. The undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, takes on John Cena. And John Cena has a chance
to
win
the
17th
time
world champion.
Yes.
Will he do it?
Okay.
And will The Rock be involved?
Hear me out. I think he wins. Where's Randy Orton in there? Randy Orton has
They haven't announced that match yet. I think it's gonna be like when Cody Rhodes came back.
Okay, so we'll go back to that because I have a theory. Okay, I think John Cena wins against Cody Rhodes, taking the championship with him.
What if The Rock turns on Cena for last year?
No, he won't.
It could be a double cross. I'm fantasy booking here.
But that's too far fetched because at that point, what is the point of getting? There's no point of that having been. Okay, so John Cena wins, and he somehow later in this year he starts a feud with Randy Orton.
It'll be at the next pay-per-view probably.
And you know what? I hadn't thought about him losing back to Cody Rhodes and kind of as the passing of the torch. I hadn't thought about it that way because I think it could also be the passing of the torch to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Because there's two main guys in the company right now.
Yeah.
And actually we have like four. We have many possibilities, but
there's a lot of
next
time.
passing of the torches should be. It could be either Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, or Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I could see that.
There's no need. Randy Orton is in a passing of the torch. AJ Styles is in a passing of the torch. CM Punk is in a passing of the torch.
But that gives you your John Cena versus CM Punk. That gives you.
But you would have to have him be a.
No. That gives you the John Cena versus CM Punk, the Randy Orton versus John Cena. It's the farewell matches that we wanted.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So John Cena wins. I love it. He has feuds with CM Punk. He has feuds with Randy Orton, and
he can even. I mean, that last feud could be Roman.
He can have the last feud with Roman Reigns,
which Roman's already beaten him. So I don't know if that makes sense. Either way, I mean,
but that could be the passing of the torch,
yeah.
And somewhere in there, if that is the case, I think Roman Reigns in one of the promos. He should say something along the lines of
Roman versus Rock. Versus Roman. I want to see Rock versus Roman, damn it.
I do too, but hear me out. I think somewhere in that feud between John Cena and Roman Reigns, he should say one or two lines, or if not both. I learned to cut a promo, or you need to learn to cut a promo. Something along those lines, because he buried him.
Yeah.
Whenever he said, it's a promo, learn how to do it. And I think that would be a great way to...
Far-fetched.
That match. And that feud.
But imagine, right? The Rock thinks he has John Cena.
Yeah.
Right? Or John Cena thinks he's on the team with Rock, right? Rock remembers what Cena did to him last year. Gets involved in the match. Cody Rhodes wins and turns heel. And joins the Rock.
Cody Rhodes?
Well, yeah, it would be a double cross.
Ooh.
I know we're digging in the weeds here.
I mean, this is fantasy booking at its best. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Look, here's what I'm hoping, kind of to wrap this up. Here's what I'm hoping from WrestleMania. I'm hoping that the slow build, that the long storytelling that we have seen, not only within the last 4 months, but between the last year, pays off, and there's a lot of aha moments when all the storylines that we see are here. Even with El Grande Americano. Even if that is. And honestly, I kind of don't want it to be Chad Gable. I want it to be like Hornswoggle. Something like super off.
Right. Where it doesn't unmask him yet.
Oh, no. Where it does unmask him, but it turns out to be somebody completely different.
And then someone else comes up. Yeah. It becomes
yeah.
But thank you for watching. Are you excited for WrestleMania? Because I know I am.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to let us know what you think we could be doing better. What conversations do you want us to be talking about? If it's not within WWE, we don't want to talk about it, so shut up.
Storylines that we're not talking about that you would like to hear about. But thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, and tell us your favorite WrestleMania moment.